Welcome back to Afraid Movies. Today I will be explaining the movie Eden Lake. Warning, spoilers ahead. Nursery school teacher Jenny works at the local daycare. She has a boyfriend, Steve. Steve is waiting for Jenny after her class in the car. He has a ring and wants to propose to Jenny. The couple arranges a romantic trip to the English countryside, where Steve is planning to propose. When they arrive at Eden Lake, they finally see the beautiful view overlooking the town. The couple plans to have a romantic, relaxed day. In the woods, they meet a young boy, Adam, who likes to collect insects. Jenny says hello to him, but Adam does not respond. They leave the boy and continue to walk to the lake. Finally, they find the lake and have a good time on the beach with the sun. Soon after, a group of rude teenagers arrives who disrupt their romantic day. Steve goes for a swim and a Rottweiler dog starts barking at Jenny. He decides to confront the teenagers. Steve asks them to turn the music down and to behave, but they refuse. The group leader, Brett, is disrespectful to Steve. Other members of the group are Cooper, Reese, Ricky, Harry, and Paige. Steve decides he will ignore them. He doesn't want to be bullied by the group. One of the boys takes the binoculars and starts checking Jenny's body out. She feels uncomfortable and covers herself up. The group decides to leave. On their way, Brett flashes his private parts to Steve and Jenny. Steve and Jenny decide to spend the night on the beach, so they set up the tent. She hears some noise in the woods, but ignores it. They enjoy their romantic evening, but Jenny again hears some noise in the woods. Steve says there is nothing to be worried about. The couple has sex in the tent, but the noises from the woods still worry Jenny. Steve goes to check it out. Some time goes by and Steve hasn't returned. Jenny is worried, so she starts calling him. Suddenly, Steve shows up and scares Jenny. He was just playing a joke. The next morning, the insects infested their food. They decide to leave and eat somewhere else. While in the car, Steve accidentally runs over a glass bottle that the group left behind. He successfully fixes the tire and they leave for town. There, the group of teenagers on bicycles passes them by. Steve is annoyed and starts following them but can't keep up with them. The couple goes to the diner to have some food. After breakfast, Steve notices a couple of bicycles in front of the house. He believes the bicycles belong to teenagers, so he stops the car. He wants to teach them a lesson. Jenny begs him not to go. He, uninvited, enters the house. Soon, Brett's father comes into the house yelling and calling for Brett. Steve hides and manages to escape. The couple returns to the lake. Steve and Jenny have a great day together at the beach, swimming and sleeping. Steve decides this is a great opportunity to propose. When he is about to take the ring out, Jenny at that moment interrupts him. Their bag with wallets, phones, and car keys is missing. Their car has also been stolen. They have no choice but to walk on foot to town. Steve is furious. On their way to town, they see a group of teenagers driving his car in the woods. Brett stops the car, smiles at them, and drives away. That night, Steve and Jenny see the group at the campfire in the woods. Steve demands that they return their stuff to them. Brett and the group act like they don't know what he is talking about. Steve loses his control and attacks Brett. One of the boys has a knife. In a scuffle, Steve takes the knife and accidentally fatally stabs Brett's dog. In sadness, Brett throws the car keys and tells them to leave. The couple runs to the car, but the group follows them. The car gets stuck on a slope. The group breaks the car lights with rocks. Steve finally manages to drive away, but due to the dark, Steve crashes the car. Steve is now trapped by the tree branch. Jenny tries to help him, but she can't move the branch. She runs for help. She hears the group, hides, and spends the night in the woods. Brett finds Steve. The next morning, Jenny finds Steve's shoes. She believes he is in danger. Jenny follows the tracks on the ground and finds Steve tied up in barbed wire. She tries to call for help on the phone, but there's no signal. Brett and his group torture Steve. Brett wants revenge for the death of his dog. Brett commands Harry to cut Steve and Paige to document everything. Steve is in pain. Jenny is hiding and watching the incident. She is aware they will kill Steve and she needs to do something about it. Jenny has an idea to use the Bluetooth on her GPS so she can connect with Steve's phone and call 911. Brett notices this and realizes Jenny is somewhere nearby. Jenny shows herself to the group and they start to chase her. Steve takes the opportunity to free himself and escape. Jenny successfully avoids the group. She comes across a house trailer. A radio phone is inside, but it is out of her reach. The group is approaching, so she hides on the top of the trailer. Ricky goes back to check on Steve, but he's missing. He informs Brett, so they start to look for Steve. Steve gets to his car and opens the door, but the alarm goes off. The group hears the alarm. Jenny at last reunites with Steve, who is wounded. They hide in a small cabin where Jenny attends to his injuries. She finds the engagement ring in his pocket. Steve tells her he wanted to propose. In the meantime, the group finds the cabin, but it is empty. Jenny and Steve hide under the cabin, submerged in water. Steve is in bad condition. The group leaves and Jenny drags Steve on land. Jenny, overwhelmed, says yes to his proposal and goes for help. While running, she steps on a big spike. She is screaming in pain and the group hears her. Injured and in pain, she hides. All of a sudden, she sees someone near her. It is Adam. He says he will help her, but instead leads her to the group. The group ties her to a tree near Steve, who is dying. The group's plan is to burn them alive. Some of the members are reluctant to do it. Brett says to Adam to light them on fire, and he will be accepted into the group. Adam listens to Brett. Paige documents the scene with her phone. Steve's body starts to burn first. Brett starts to celebrate the whole event. Adam is disturbed and tries to run, but the group catches him. The rope tied to Jenny burns, which gives her a chance to run. Brett tries to get her, but she pours the gasoline on the ground and sets it on fire. She runs away. As she is running further away, she sees Adam is burned alive by Brett. Jenny continues to run and hides in the trash when she hears the group coming closer. She sees the group outside, but they go away. Jenny takes a piece of glass from the trash as a weapon. She sees Cooper and stabs him in the neck. Too late, she realized Cooper was trying to help her. Jenny is filled with regret she killed an innocent kid. That night, the group finds Cooper's dead body. Brett is in a rage. Harry is crying and blaming Brett for everything. Harry wants to call for help, but Brett kills him. Paige is scared and runs away. Jenny finally gets to the road. She stops a car and gets in. Jenny discovers that the driver is Ricky's brother and he is looking for him. She starts panicking and steals the car. On her way, she sees Paige and in anger runs her over. Jenny makes it to town but crashes the car into a fence of a house. She notices there is a party in the house. Jenny goes inside, asks for help, and passes out. After she wakes up, a woman is comforting her. She looks around the house and realizes she is in Brett's house. Also, people in the room are parents of other kids in the group. Trying to escape, she goes to the bathroom. At that point, Brett's father recognizes the crashed car. Jenny takes the razor from the bathroom. She hears the noise outside the bathroom. Suddenly, the door is kicked in, and insane Brett and his father come in. Hopeless, Jenny realizes that the parents are as psychotic as their children. Brett's father and other parents push Jenny back to the bathroom while Brett stays in his room. Brett hears Jenny's screams. He deletes the videos from Paige's phone and smirks into the mirror.